listeners, to Mindful Living Podcast with your host, Sana, where we explore the intersection of wellness, mindfulness, and science backed strategies to improve our daily lives. Now, in this episode, we are diving into something so simple yet so crucial: hydration. But not just any hydration, listeners, the right kind of water. And have you ever felt like no matter how much water you drink, you are still feeling sluggish, um, foggy, or maybe fatigued? What if the type of water you consume is just as important as the quantity? To help me with this conversation, joining is Kyle Flynn, better known as one of the Kangen couple with Taylor Flynn. They have dedicated their lives to educating people on the power of electrolyzed reduced water, which is also known as ERW, a form of water that's not only deeply hydrating but also antioxidant rich and scientifically proven to improve overall health. And they have personally experienced it, listeners. Its transformative benefits, for example, from increased energy and faster recovery to better digestion and relief from chronic symptoms. But their mission doesn't stop at just health. Through their company, Tidal Vision Coaching, they're also uh, embarked on the mission to empower fitness professionals and wellness entrepreneurs to build businesses around proper hydration. So that's a bit different, right, listeners? So today we'll explore how water can actually enhance mental clarity, mood, and mindfulness, and whether rethinking what we drink could be the key to unlocking our potential. So, Kai, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute honor having you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Honored to be here.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Kyle, water is everywhere. Unfortunately, 70% of the Earth's water is not fit for consumption, but whatever is left, around, what do you think? Why exactly people misunderstand about hydration? And what common myths are there which are holding us back from truly nourishing our bodies?
For sure. Yeah. So I think kind of, you hit the nail on the head saying and people I think just take water for granted, right? It makes up so much of the earth, right? So readily available for most people that, people kind of toss it out and think, water is just water. And it doesn't really matter what kind of water you drink as long as it's, properly sanitized, you're good to go. It's two molecules, it's hydrogen and oxygen, and that's kind of the end of the story. Um, but I think in that kind of broad view of water, we kind of also forget kind of how we operate and how we don't even really operate on that same thought process on a daily basis, right? Like if someone gave you a glass of polluted water and they gave you a glass of spring water, right? You would choose the spring water, right? So, water isn't just water, right? And on a more micro level, if someone gave you, spring water, fresh from a glacier in Iceland, or a bottle of water, right, in a plastic bottle, you would probably take the glacier water, right? The most natural water possible. But um, so we're making those kind of decisions, and we would probably all agree across the board that we would all make the same decisions on which water we would choose. But unfortunately, not all of us live next to a glacier, right? So like how can we get that best water on earth? How can we reproduce that water in our own homes and at the benefit of our health?
Mm, that is really really eye opening. I think it's a natural resource. It's a huge gift given to us, but we always undervalue its significance. So, with that also, let's talk about hydration, how it impacts brain function and mental clarity. So many people turn to, in fact, I also very honestly admit that whenever I'm feeling drained out, or I'm not feeling that clarity, or not getting that concentration to work, I always resort to coffee or tea, or maybe energy drinks also. In fact, I do not consume at all energy drinks. But could do you think, Kyle, could dehydration actually be the underlying issue, or is it something else?
I mean, I think it's important to remember, and I'm a big proponent of this. I mean, talking anything in the health realm or how to solve, an issue around someone's health. That's a very interconnected issue, right? I don't think there's any one variable that's going to solve everything for everyone, right? So I think it's important to I always like to set up my conversations with that first. But I think hydration is a huge piece of the puzzle for mental health and mental clarity. I mean, your brain alone, it's 75% water. Um, so if not water, then what else would be that important to your brain, right? If it's 3/4 water, then I think putting the right type of water into your body to regenerate and replenish that water that makes up 75% of your brain would be of momentous importance.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And I have heard a lot about hydrogen infused water. Then there's alkaline water. Then there is um, I don't know, many types of water. But how does you talk a lot about ERW, which is electrolyzed reduced water. So how does ERW compare with all this, and what makes it different from water most people are drinking every day?
Yeah. Yeah. So the cool that electrolyzed reduced water is essentially a combination of all the waters you mentioned. So, electrolyzed reduced water is produced from a water ionizer machine. So, a water ionizer machine sends electricity because it plugs into your outlet through water. So you hook it up to your sink. Sink water flows through the ionizer, and it runs an electrical current through the water. That current splits the water into a positive into a negative. The positive current flows out of the bottom hose, which has a positive or a lower pH, so between a 1 and a 6. And then the other concurrent stream runs out of the top, which is an alkaline current, and it has a pH of between 8 and 11.5. So we'll focus mostly on the drinking water today, which is between the 8 and 9.5 pH. So the electrolyzed reduced water is alkaline, like you mentioned, and it's also hydrogen rich, right? So that electrical current breaks the H2O molecule down into its constituent components of a hydroxide molecule, an OH molecule, and a free floating hydrogen molecule. And those free floating hydrogen molecules attach to one another and create H2 or hydrogen gas within the aqueous solution of the 8 to 9.5 pH water. So it's like I said, it's kind of a combination of everything, right? It is alkaline. It has that property of the OH molecules making it alkaline. It's also hydrogen infused, so it has the free floating hydrogen gas. And it is also microclustered, so it has essentially smaller water molecules, making it more bioavailable. Meaning the brain and nervous system can hydrate more efficiently with the electrolyzed reduced water.
And what's the science behind it? As in, you completely explained us with the chemistry 101. But what are the benefits here? Because what you said is, it's kind of uh, combining the benefits of alkaline water or hydro infused water.
Yep. Yeah, so the hydrogen infused essentially is the H2 or the hydrogen in the water is a super powerful antioxidant. So because the brain is highly susceptible to oxidative stress, which is linked to anxiety, depression, and other neurodegenerative diseases, that H2 antioxidant can cross the blood-brain barrier of the brain and help neutralize a lot of harmful free radicals that can accumulate based on diet, pollution, UV rays, different things that cause oxidative stress in the body. Research shows that molecular hydrogen may have a neuroprotective effect, reducing brain inflammation and contributing to mood disorders. So that's number one with the hydrogen in the electrolyzed reduced water. In terms of the alkaline properties of the water,
Hmm.
we'll see that in the gut brain connection, right? So the gut microbiome directly affects mental health through the gut-brain axis.
Yeah.
So the alkaline properties and even the hydrogen in the water can help reduce gut inflammation, support beneficial gut bacteria, which leads to better neurotransmitter protection like serotonin and dopamine. So this will help improve mood stability.
Wow. Wow. That is something interesting. That is something interesting. And let's also talk about the accessibility. So presently, many people they don't realize that municipal and bottled water may contain toxins. Up till now, now studies have shown that since most of us we consume water from plastic bottles, it can be very very dangerous under high temperatures as well. So, what are some of the biggest hidden dangers in our drinking water today, which you and Taylor discovered, or maybe you guys researched about it?
Yeah, so that was actually kind of the original research topic that kind of got us into looking at our various water sources. So there's this online company. It's called the Environmental Working Group, the EWG. So you can go to ewg.org, and it's a US based group, so you can only really do it for United States municipal water. But anyone in the United States can put in their zip code where they live, and it will give you a detailed report of what contaminants are in the water. They did a broad spectrum analysis of every major municipal water source in the United States. So when we put our zip code in, we found that our zip code had 13 contaminants that were hundreds of times over the healthy limit that has been researched based on that contaminant. And it was a conglomeration of heavy metals in our water, pesticide, and other toxins that we found that were all linked to issues of neurodegeneration, chronic inflammation, and different things like that, even cancer causing toxins. And those can accumulate in your body over time. Unfortunately and fortunately, your body's really good at dealing with those toxins at a small scale. But unfortunately, that means that those can really accumulate in your body over long periods of time. So, your body might be great at fighting off for 15 years, but what about 35 years into the battle? Is it still going to be as effective? And a lot of these toxins can lead to different things like brain fog, irritability, and fatigue on the micro scale in the short term, and then even broader diseases in the long term.
Wow, that is scary. That is scary. And I think this issue is widespread across globally because and especially in densely populated countries as well, or areas where uh, there is uh, uh, there is more pressure on accessibility to healthy drinking water. So this is really I believe it's a ticking bomb. So thank you
Agreed.
so much for sharing this, Kyle. Uh, and also beyond drinking water, are there other ways hydration actually affects recovery, skin health, and even longevity?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So, I mean, you can even kind of go into, keeping it on the mental side of, just chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels. They can lead to things like burnout, anxiety, depression. Proper hydration with alkaline or hydrogen-rich water can help the body manage those stresses more effectively by supporting adrenal health and reducing oxidative damage. So, just the more we can get this kind of antioxidant rich water into your body over long periods of time is going to help a lot of those substrates that can accumulate from various, mental, health issues such as stress, but even physical issues leading from things from your diet or, even, fitness professionals or, fitness enthusiasts who are exercising a ton, making sure that it can flush out the accumulative byproducts of exercise as well.
So it is safe to assume that it's all interconnected. It's all interconnected. What's mind?
It all is for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, on the flip side, let's take it from a different perspective, Kyle. There are claims that alkaline water and other enhanced waters, they are just marketing gimmicks. So, what do you say to critics who believe this is all pseudoscience?
I say I agree with you 100%. So the difference is with the electrolyzed reduced water versus common alkaline water. So a lot of alkaline water brands are essentially just adding in substrates that make the water alkaline, right? So it'd be essentially like me pouring baking soda into my water. Shaking it up, it becomes clear again, and now it has a higher pH because I put an alkaline base substrate into the water. The difference with electrolyzed reduced water is that we're not putting anything into the water, right? Except for electricity, right? We're putting an electrical current into the water, which separates the water molecule in such a way that recreates alkaline properties, but we're not adding anything to the water to make it alkaline. And that's the big difference. The water is still saying in the electrolyzed reduced water, it's still saying it's remaining natural, right? It's still the same water molecules. All right. It's just restructured differently to recreate alkaline properties.
Mhm.
But I would say the alkaline nature is like the third to fourth, you know, benefit of electrolyzed reduced water. Where really the free floating hydrogen and the hydrogen enriched water portion is really the moneymaker of the electrolyzed reduced water and what's going to cause and drive the most health benefits from it.
Wow. Simply just a basic chemical reaction, chemistry reaction, nothing
Yep.
else. Oh,
Yep.
that's really cool. That's really cool, Kyle. Kyle, what's the story behind all this? You and Taylor, you have embarked on this mission, and I think it's really, really very, very important, especially for the upcoming generations, because I think we are actually in a water crisis, especially drinking water crisis right now. And I think the future is actually looking grim. To be very frank. So, what's the story behind this, and what do you envision through Tidal Vision?
Yeah, so, the story, the short version of the story is my wife brought me, this product, brought it to my attention in, late 2023, and I thought it was, just complete BS, to be honest. Like, I was like, I've never heard of electrolyzed reduced water." I'd been in the fitness industry for 20 years. At that point, I keep up on, trending topics. I keep up on health topics. I've never seen or heard anyone talk about this. So like how is this thing that can be so good not have been, promoted around? And she was like, she's like, just research it, look it up. And tell me why it hasn't been essentially. She kind of flipped the script on me and I was just kind of like, all right, I will prove to you that water is just water. So I did some research. I looked up electrolyzed reduced water in Google Scholar, in PubMed. I went to specific scientific studies. Went to not didn't just go to the search engine, and type in is electrolyzed reduced water good for me. I went to actual scientific research and found articles and I found over 100 articles on hydrogen-rich water or electrolyzed reduced water or alkaline water that all kinda said the same thing, and that it has health benefits. It's currently being studied to, help curtail or even prevent some chronic diseases or common chronic diseases that we're seeing everywhere, like type 2 diabetes, um, various cancers, and even has, it's even been shown to kind of reduce, adipose tissue in the body. So after doing my research, I was like, why we got the machine, we found some health benefits for ourselves. My parents found some health benefits. My mom's eczema of almost 40 years cleared up on her hands. And the more people that we had use the water, the more success stories we got. And as being a gym owner, I was like, I've never seen this level of success stories this quickly with something. So um, we kind of took it on ourselves of like, we need to educate more fitness professionals. If we can educate the fitness professionals who should be the most curious about health trends and health topics that can make an immediate impact on people, um, then those are the people that we want to talk to and help
Mhm.
them essentially, communicate this to their, sphere of influence. If every trainer has 100 clients or gym owner has 200, 300 clients in their gym,
Mhm.
if we can reach that one person, that's going to help us reach those 300 people, down the road and then, through the downstream effect of, kind of marketing that way. So it's been exciting. We're very excited about it as fitness professionals, and we're excited to teach other fitness professionals about the technology because most people don't know about it, and then the benefits from there. So, we're super excited, and we think it's going to be a great fitness product that's going to really catch hold and gain more and more popularity over the coming years.
Course, of course. I think it's a very, if I talk in business sense, it's a very sensible move because instead of just imposing the product on directly on the consumers, I think let consumers take the entire control to uh, get the benefits, understand how it works, and then adopt the product into their day-to-day lives. I think that's a really, really sensible move. And of course, if Kyle, our listeners, they would like to, uh, take the first step and start consuming water mindfully and maybe resort to ERW, uh, or know more about the work Tidal Vision Coaching is doing, how they can do that.
Yeah. So the two easiest ways, excuse me, to contact us. If you want to contact us directly, it's easiest to get us through Instagram. So we're just at the Kangen couple. Just shoot us a message there. We'll be happy to chat with you and set up a time if you want to, talk more in person. Then we also have other, educational information on our profile as well. You can also go to either one of our websites. We have thekangencouple.com or tidalvisioncoaching.com. I generally recommend people go to thekangencouple.com first. We have a lot more information specific to electrolyzed reduced water. The Tidal Vision Coaching website is geared more towards our coaching business, on how to then build your own kind of brand around the electrolyzed reduced water if it's something that you find beneficial to your own health and wellness from there. So those are the two easiest ways, Instagram and on our website, theconqueredcouple.com.
Lovely, lovely. We'll have all the details mentioned in the show notes for our listeners to easily get access to you and also know more about the work at Tidal. And thank you so much, Kyle, for this eye-opening conversation on such a crucial aspect, such a crucial topic. I think hydration is something we often take for granted, as we talked about initially. And today, you have actually helped us learn that not all water is created equal. And I think from mental clarity to mood balance, recovery, in fact, financial empowerment, it's incredible how a simple shift can actually have such a profound impact. So, thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Lovely, lovely. So, for all of our listeners, if you want to dive deeper, learn more about the Kangen couple, you can connect with Kyle and Taylor, and you can also uh, explore the work at Tidal Vision Coaching. Refer to the show notes along with this episode. And if today's conversation connected with you, share this episode with your family, your loved ones, your friends, colleagues, anyone who could benefit from a hydration upgrade. Until next time, stay mindful, stay hydrated, and take care of your body, mind, and soul. Thank you.